Okay. You need to be facing the smartboard. I don't know why you're not looking at the smartboard. Okay, I need you to go maybe sit behind Kalia because you're so jammed up here. Okay. So boys and girls, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the very next clean page in your math journals. Kylie, can you turn off one of the light switches, not both?
No, she said you can't sit right.
Perfect. No, that's too close. I'm not going to trip over you guys.
Right there's fine.
Okay. So inside of your math journals, you should have the following. Is he missing it?
He's missing his reading journal. That's over there.
Yeah, we have that. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4 anchor charts already glued in your math journals. Double check that you do.
3, 4.
Okay.
That is done.
Okay. Now, I want you on the next clean page. And here's what you're going to do. At the top, I want you to write the following title. Addition strategies. Well, honey. Can you do what now? Not right now. Can you just do that later? Because right now it's going to be important that we're taking notes. Here's another thing about taking notes with me. I might go ahead and you're like, oh, she's going too fast. Don't panic. I have this journal that you can borrow from me.
And I'm making one too.
Miss Paley has her journal you can borrow from her, and we are making a video of this. So if I go a little too fast right now, do not panic. Now, the reason why I'm having us take notes on addition strategies is this. From some of the work that I've been looking at, last week you guys took a very short quiz. You all panicked when I said, show me 2 different ways to solve this problem. There was maybe only 4 or 5 of you that were able to pull out a couple of different ways to solve. This is a strategy, but you can't prove that on a piece of paper, can you?
No.
You can't prove counting on your fingers. And with a math assignment, a math quiz or test, you need to prove your thinking every time. You get most of the points from how you solved it, not what the answer is. If you only give me the answer, you lose the points. Because you just look like a cheater. So you need to show your work, how you figured it out, explain your thinking. These are all things that people say over and over again to you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on some of the addition strategies that are on this poster back there that you already have glued inside. And when we're talking about those strategies, I expect, boys and girls, you all to talk with me because they're glued inside. But the first strategy we are going to talk about is not on that poster. Okay? So here's what I want you to write. compensation. I just do that so it's easy. So if you don't want to put the underline, that's fine. Compensation. Next to the word compensation, you already have to write something. You have to write addition only. That means when I show you this strategy, you cannot use it for multiplication, for division, or for subtraction. It is only used for the addition operation. That is it. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Now, I'm going to write down an addition equation. Do not solve it. (24 plus 36 equals). Just write it down, but don't solve. Okay, so 24 plus 36 can look kind of scary because 24 isn't one of those comfortable, nice looking numbers, and same with 36. When I say comfortable, nice looking numbers, those are numbers that end with a 2, a 5, or a 0. 20 is not so scary, is it? No. 25, not so bad. Those are easy, comfortable numbers. So when we use the strategy of compensation, we're going to kind of borrow and move some numbers around so that we can come up with some numbers that are like 20 or 25. Well, what does that mean? And actually, I'm going to use some carrots. Did everybody get some carrots that they wanted carrots for? Yeah? Okay. Ha! So I have 2 bags of carrots, right? Is that true? Yeah. Let's say I have 10 carrots in this one, 12 carrots in this one. No. 12 carrots and, yeah, we'll do 10 and 12. If I move 1 carrot from this bag to this bag, how many carrots will this bag now have?
12.
11. Remember, this one has 10.
Yes.
This one has 12. I'm taking 1 carrot into this bag, which means this bag now has
11.
and this bag now has
11.
11. Did I lose any carrots?
No.
No. All I did was I moved 1 number to another place. So if I were to add it up, I still have the same amount of carrots in the end, don't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I could move 5 carrots from this bag over to this bag, but I still have the same amount of carrots. That's compensation. You're just moving some numbers around. So, I don't like 24, and I don't like 36. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 and put it over here. I'm taking away a single digit 1 from 36, and I'm adding it to the other addend, 24. So now 24 is not 24, it is now
25.
25. And 36 is not 36 because I stole 1. It's now what? 35. a little bit easier to add up?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nearly as scary of a math problem, is it?
No.
It's definitely much, much easier to work with. So before we even worry about adding up these numbers, let's do a couple more examples. Let's do $19 plus 23. I want you all to write down the equation and just try to use compensation to change the equation. I didn't say solve it yet. Use this technique to try and move some numbers around so that these numbers don't look quite so scary. What would you borrow from the other one? You're not solving, but you are trying to use compensation. I'm walking around and looking at what you're doing. I'm not putting it up there until I see some effort on your part. Did you need anybody? No, I'm just listening for conversation. Yeah. I do have a really good video for you to watch if you want to.
Okay.
Of him.
Okay, yeah. Do you have any from,
I have one from everybody.
okay, yeah.
They're either going to be video or audio, but it's really
Yeah.
a demonstration of their ability.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that.
Okay, does anybody want to share with me how you redid your equation? Luis. Okay, so you took 1 from 23. From 23. And then you added it over here to 19. So you took 1, and you moved it over. And so now it's not 19, it's what? 20. And it's not really 23 anymore, it is 22. So now when you look at this number, do you think you could solve 20 plus 22 maybe in your head?
Yes.
But if I said, could you add up 19 plus 23? Could you? I would not be able to. I would look at 19 plus 23, and my brain would say like, oh, those are two really hard numbers. I need to try and figure that out and use like paper and pencil and thousands chart and stuff. But if I use compensation and I just move some numbers around, visually it helps me out. I can see 20 plus 22. Yes,
I did it a different way.
tell me.
I took 2 from the 3.
You took 2 of them away from the 3.
And I added up.
So instead of just taking 1, Sabrina took 2 of them away. So now 19 is, what is now 19? 21. And then 23 is not 23, it is 21 again. Are you allowed to do that? Yup. That's compensation. Compensation, you're on video. Just reminding you. Remember, I explained to everybody I'm videotaping lesson. Yeah, so why don't you sit up and act right? So compensation, we're borrowing. We're not stealing. We're not throwing it away. We're just moving some stuff around. Okay? That's your first addition strategy. Can I use compensation for subtraction?
No. Yeah.
Look at the first thing that I made you guys write.
No.
No, you cannot. You can't do this trick. You may think that you can, but you cannot. You can't take something that isn't there. Okay? So you need to remember that this strategy only works for addition. That is it. Okay? All right, let's take a look at the second strategy I want you to get good at. And we're going to call it adding by place. It's kind of nice to take notes and not have to even worry about finding the answer at this point, huh? Not so stressful. I think when I'm done with adding by place, I'm going to stop here and we'll do 2 more the next time. I don't want to overwhelm them. I'd rather them get the other 2 strategies today. Yes, sir.
Do we have to write the equations?
Well, how are you going to have examples to help you if you don't write the equations?
I don't want to.
Huh?
I don't want to.
How about this? You can make any kind of choice you want to. It's a natural consequence if you don't understand compensation because you don't feel like writing down like 5 characters. Yes, sir. What's tomorrow? What do you mean? Today is, right now, I'm teaching math. Really not at the right time. Sit up. Okay, so adding by place. It says so in the name. This is a strategy used for what type of math operation? Addition. This is an addition strategy again. You don't do adding by place when you are subtracting. So, this is a strategy. The other day, you guys all had a 2-digit number that you had to add together on that quiz. And you had to show me 2 different ways, didn't you?
Yes.
One way we just did. That's one way. Compensation. If you would have added using this strategy, that's one style. The other style or strategy is now going to be adding by place. Now, whose parents have taught them to add numbers up and down vertically? That's called the algorithm. The algorithm is fine, but I'm not going to spend really any time with it. Here's the reason. Most of you can't explain to me why I carry a number. If you can explain it to me, then I'll let you use algorithm. If you can't explain it to me, then you don't understand mathematics. It's a good trick. It's not understanding math. So there's a big difference. So adding by place. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to write down a regular equation. Right, boys? Yeah, Mrs. Lincoln. We're going to write down 62 plus, let me do 28. $62 plus 28. When's my planning? 10:30. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
Oh, not tomorrow. Wednesday.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I knew you meant that.
Thanks.
Okay. There's a couple of things you can do. Some kids need a visual. So I'm going to do the first way where some kids need an extra step. This is not a required step that I'm about to show you. It does help students who have a hard time breaking things up. I'm looking at the number 62, and how many numbers are in the number 62? How many numbers do you see? Darion? 62. How many numbers do you see?
2.
I see 2 numbers. I'm going to make 2 little branches. If I had 620, how many numbers would you see?
3.
3. So how many branches would I make for that number? 3. Yeah, there's a strategy. Now, on this branch, I'm going to expand the number 62. That means I'm going to break it up by place. So over here, I'm going to write the number, not 6, but 60. I'm doing it by place value. I'm doing it by place value. The other branch would then have what? 2. So with 28, how would I break up the number 28? Sabrina? 20 and 8. I've broken up the numbers by their place values. That's the most important part. This won't work if you say 6 and 2. That doesn't work. That will give you 8. That's not what 62 is. These two numbers together added must always make that addend. You cannot say 6 plus 2. So now I have I've taken 2 addends, and now I basically have 4 math numbers. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add up 60 plus, what do you think is the other number I'm going to add?
2.
Not 2. Plus 20. I'm matching up these place values. 60 plus 20. What is 60 plus 20, Darion? Because you're not writing, you're laying on your back. Kylie? 80. It is 80. If this number freaks you out, just cover up the zeros. Cover up the zeros and then add the 0 back in at the end. Am I done with this math problem?
No.
No. What else do I need to still do? What else do I still need to do, Louise? Well, not quite. We're missing another step still. Hold on, Mark. Add 2 and add 2 plus 8. So what is 2 plus 8 equal to? 2 plus 8. Lauren, come on, girl. Let's get a little bit of girl power. We have so few girls in here. I'd like to have some girls participating in this math class. Carmelo? 10. Am I all done, kiddos? Now what do I need to do to finish up this math problem? What do I need to do to finish up the math problem? Louise? Add the 80 with the 10. It's a pretty easy one, right? 80 plus 10 is 90. Look how much simpler this is. 62 plus 28 could be kind of scary. I break it up by place. I was able to come up with the answer, which was 90. Notice, did I show my work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I put the answer still by the equal sign?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't make my teacher go hunt for the answer. I get it. The answer is down here. But still put the answer by the equal sign. You know how annoying it is to grade and say, well, where's the answer? You need to show me where the answer is. Hi, what do you need? Okay. It's just not even worth sharing. Okay. We're going to do one more example. This time, you're going to break it up, okay, and try to solve it using the adding by place strategy. Got it? Okay, so I want you to add up. 17 plus 41. Go ahead.
What is added up?
Go ahead.
Just stick it in the back for now. And then go back and do it later.
Careful, once you're done, somebody's going up there to write out their answer in my math journal. So be careful. Make sure you know how to do this strategy. In order for you to be called up to write my math journal, you have to show me your work in your journals. I have to understand it too. Let me see. Nope. Is that the strategy that I used? I need to see the strategy. I don't want the answer. I want the strategy. The answer will happen. But first I need to see the strategy happen. Bring me your... Okay, here's what I want you to do. You're going to do this line. Don't solve it yet. Okay? You can come up to the board. You can begin to do it. Are you tall enough, or do you need like a little chair? Well, just right. Here, I'll hold it. Sabrina is the teacher. Sorry. Nah, don't. Just set up the very first part of the strategy. So you've worked with the tens place. Nice work, Sabrina. Take this back. Now, to finish up the math problem, she set it up. She set up the adding by place. Who would like to finish where she started? Finish where she started. Come on, Carmelo. Come up here and finish it off. Yeah, she already broke up the 10 and the 40. So you need to solve that. And then you need to solve the ones place and then stop there. And then somebody else is going to add up all the rest. I will be looking at your math journals, boys and girls. So, Kalia, I hope that you're taking copious notes. I want you to answer this one and then this one. That's a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that's not really that. Perfect. Thank you. And who wants to finish up the math problem? You just did it. Don't be greedy. All right, let me see, Dakota. Let me see how you did. Guys, there will be lots of opportunities. Where's the rest of it, Dakota? You didn't finish it on here. I can't have you go up there if you don't have a finished work. Excellent. Go on up there and finish the problem. Here you go. Here's my pencil. If it's up there, I expect it in your journals. Let me see. Pretty good. Hi. Amit's absent today. don't you put your math journal on your desk because we're not adding any more to it, so it's okay. Nice work. Now, before I give you your assignment to practice these two strategies today, I want you to think about this very carefully. Could you use both strategies at the same time? Could you use both strategies at the same time?
Yes.
You probably could. You don't have to write this down, but if I were a kid who struggles in math, I would. I would write down what I'm about to write down. So, I'm going to put this in a box. That means that it's a little bit like special. So I'll do 16 plus 28. No. 29. There we go. That's a little better. If I saw 16 plus 29, I would probably freak out. But I know compensation, so I'm going to steal 4 from 29 and add 4 to 16. Right, Jacob and Kalia? Which means now my math problem has turned into 20 plus 25. Much easier. Now, some of you would be able to solve this without doing the next strategy. Good for you. Some of you can't. You should be honest with yourself if you cannot do that. So, how many numbers do I see for 20? I see 2. I'm going to break it up. 20. Is there anything in the ones place, though? No, there's nothing actually in it. So I'm just going to actually put an X because I don't need to do that. What about 25? How do I break that up, Jacob? 20. And then 5. Now I'm going to add up my tens places, right? 20 plus 20 equals 40. 5 plus nothing equals?
5.
Yeah, 5. 40 plus 5 is?
45.
45. And then I bring this back up here. Look how much simpler that math problem is. It's a lot simpler, isn't it? Okay, here's what's going to happen. You're going to still need your math journals. You're not going to write in them anymore, but what you are going to do is use them to help you solve the math problems I'm going to put on the board. Stop this real quick.